What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and I think that one of the most culturally significant moments in the history of gaming could be upon us at some point this year with the fall of Ubisoft.
Go back to the shadow!
After these idiots have fumbled their way through 2024, telling gamers to be comfortable, not owning their games, putting out buggy turds like Star Wars Outlaws, and live service slop that nobody gives a shit about, I think it is reasonable to say that Ubisoft is a company that has become the face of everything wrong with gaming in the minds of most gamers these days.
Do you love me? No.
This is why it is unsurprising to hear that the company took in a shitload less money so far this past fiscal year compared to the previous year. Star Wars Outlaws, Skull and Bones, X-Defiant, and Assassin's Creed Shadows were supposed to create a very strong year, but instead, 3 of those games have been absolute flops, and Shadows has been pushed back to March. The company is in absolute shambles as they scramble to find a way to satisfactorily explain all of this failure to the shareholders.
What is this? What is this? Where's all the money?
That's as good as money, sir. Those are IOUs.
Obviously, Assassin's Creed Shadows is pretty much the only thing they've got left. And as we discussed yesterday, the company is posturing, claiming that the game's pre-orders are selling as well as Odyssey, which was the second best-selling title in the history of the Assassin's Creed franchise. But if you look at their earnings report, and if you look at how they expect the fiscal year to close out, which, keep in mind that their fiscal year ends at the end of March, but if you look at those expectations, you can extrapolate the sales projections that Ubisoft has for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and those numbers are insanely inflated. They've made about 900 million euros so far this fiscal year, and they're expecting to end the year with about 1.9 billion euros. This suggests that they're under the impression that Shadows is going to sell over 10 million units right when it releases. I mean, they've heard that USAID is being defunded, right? Where the hell are they expecting to get this number from? It has to be illegal to be this out of touch with reality and to believe that they are this untouchable, doesn't it?
Yes! I am invincible!
Alright, me hearties, make sure you smash the like button on this video to chase off the evil algorithm monster, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. But anyhow, we've got to dive into this earnings report from Ubisoft, where they are suffering under delusions of grandeur with regards to how well this game is going to sell. I likely don't have to remind you that over on Steam, this game still has yet to break 20,000 followers, and they're still languishing outside of the top 100 sellers, despite the fact that they are only about a month removed from release. These numbers simply do not justify a prediction of anything even remotely close to what the people at Ubisoft are claiming they're going to make for this game. But let's read about their claims from this article from the site 80 Level. The headline says, Ubisoft's sales down nearly 50%, more layoffs and studio closures likely. The studio's latest financial report proves that Assassin's Creed Shadows is its last chance at a comeback. And then, if we dig into the article itself, it reads, with 2024 being the worst year in Ubisoft's history due to a series of blunders and a lineup of sloppily made games that failed to gain any attention, it has been widely believed for some time now that should the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows underperform financially, it would spell the end for the once beloved developer. Proving this belief to be true is Ubisoft's latest financial report, which puts into numbers the magnitude of the company's fall from grace and hints that 2025 will likely bring even more studio closures and layoffs. Yeah, this is something that has actually needed to happen at this bloated company for a while now. This is a studio that produces initiatives like this one here, where they push their weird, progressive crap onto people. This is a company that currently, even after all the layoffs that they've announced over the past few years, they still have over 18,000 employees. That is wild, especially when they keep churning out drivel like this initiative. They don't need 18,000 people to push out crap like this. I mean, consider this. EA has less than 14,000 employees, and I think it's very safe to say that despite how disliked EA is, they are a much more financially successful company than Ubisoft. Anyhow, reading on, according to Ubisoft's report for the third quarter of the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, revenue from contracts with customers amounted to 318 million euros, a sharp 47.5% drop compared to the same period last year. For the first 9 months of fiscal year 25, sales totaled 990 million euros, down 31.4% from the same time frame in the previous year. Ubisoft's net bookings took an even bigger hit, reaching just 301.8 million euros in quarter 3 of the fiscal year, a whopping 51.8% year-on-year decline. For the first 9 months of 2024/2025, total net bookings stood at 944 million euros, down 34.8%. Now, we're going to skip down past where they talk about how there will likely be a lot of employees who lose their jobs in the near future at Ubisoft, and we're going to read from here, where it says, as for how the company plans to recover, the report states that Ubisoft anticipates net bookings to grow in quarter 4 of 2025 compared to last year, largely thanks to the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows on March 20th. The most interesting part is that the company expects net bookings of around 1.9 billion in this fiscal year, and considering they only accumulated 944 million euros in the first 9 months, that expectation definitely seems like wishful thinking. Of course, despite all the controversy surrounding it, Shadows is unlikely to flop financially by virtue of being an Assassin's Creed title, but it raking in 1 billion sure seems hard to imagine right now. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's virtually impossible. Shadows is simply not going to make $1 billion. Now, let's look at the numbers. So far, they've made around 900 million euros. The exchange rate is pretty close to a 1-for-1, so for perspective, that's right around $900 million. Ubisoft is telling people in their earnings report that they are expecting to have made approximately $1.9 billion by the end of March. Now, 100% of those sales dollars will not be Assassin's Creed Shadows. They'll obviously make money on their backlog of other games and subscriptions and that sort of thing, but it's hard to imagine those sales dollars amounting to more than, say, 100 million. That would leave somewhere in the ballpark of $900 million that Ubisoft expects Assassin's Creed to make for them. Now, obviously, some versions of Assassin's Creed Shadows cost more than the $70 base game, but the average price that people will pay for Shadows is gonna be $70. If you divide 900 million by 70, you can see that Ubisoft expects to sell somewhere around 12 to 13 million units of Assassin's Creed Shadows by the end of March. They are absolutely deluded if they think that is going to be the case. In a recent video, Asmongold made a prediction of somewhere around 4 million sales of the game. That sounds about right to me. I mean, as the article said, this is an Assassin's Creed game, and there will be people buying it. Just because it says Assassin's Creed in the title, that can't be helped. But if he's correct, and if Shadows only sells a few million copies, I'm not a lawyer, but if I were an investor, I would be seriously investigating options for suing Ubisoft for fraud. There's no way to honestly be off by that staggering amount. No way that I can think of anyhow. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let's have a laugh at these delusional morons at Ubisoft. Drop your scorn and mockery for these bozos into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.